Hey, what's up, guys? It's Coach Alex from Metro South. What up? Thanks for joining me today. It's the Metro South Parkour and Freerunning online classes. Today, this is level 1, so this is our beginner level class for Parkour and Freerunning. Today, we're going to be using the same amount of space we always use because we're in my basement again. Things you'll need today, well, we're going to be working on the handstand. So, first thing you'll need is a big open space. The second thing that you can use is a yoga mat, or if you have a panel mat, you can put the panel mat down. We're not going to be going straight into handstands. We're going to be doing a lot of stuff to help your handstands get a lot better from the very beginning. So you won't have to worry about falling over because we're not going to be kicking straight up into it. The other thing that you should have available is something like a couch that you can put your feet up onto, because we'll be putting our hands on the floor and our feet onto the object. Or you could use a wall, like I got in the back there, where you can put your feet up on the wall and your hands down on the floor. Handstands are a really important skill because they're going to help us get all the different skills that make us go inverted, which means go upside down. If we're familiar with a handstand, we'll be more familiar when we do certain types of flips or rolls or different things like that, cartwheels, roundoffs, all those things come from handstands. All right, our warm-up's going to be a little bit different today because we're going to be focusing mainly on the handstand. What's up, Heather? I think you're the only one. Oh, she's not watching anymore. I shouted her out. Cool. All right. So, the last thing you're going to need is 2 objects that are small and won't get in the way. Shoes are a perfect option for this. I got some sandals here. All right, you could use anything that's small. You can use stuffed animals. You can use shoes or whatever. Doesn't matter to me. Just something small. We're going to be using them as a marker to show us where we are. So, first thing we're going to do for our warm-ups is we're going to get our shoulders moving. So, since handstands require so much of our arms, let's use our arms. Let's swing our arms across the front, switch which arm goes up on top every single time. All right. Next, arms to go back in big circles. And arms go forwards. Big circles. All right, next, without moving your feet, twist your upper body side to side. And let's pull one arm across our chest like this. We're going to put the other arm on top, and you're pulling yourself in. So if you look, my arm is going on the other side of my elbow, and my arm is staying straight, and I'm trying to pull my arm all the way to the side. This is going to stretch my arm right here. So pulling it in tight. If you want a little bit extra stretch, you're going to look towards your hand and over that shoulder. And then taking that same arm, putting it up behind her head, grabbing under her elbow and pulling to the side. Keep your head up high. Don't let it come down like this. You're trying to reach down your back, so as far down your back as you can. All right, next, put the other arm across the front. Grab right past the elbow. Pull it in tight to the side. Should feel it stretching this part of your arm here. If you want that extra stretch, look over your shoulder. And then take that same arm, put it up, reach it down, grab the elbow, pull it down, lift your head up, reaching down your back as far as you can. Holding it there for just a little while longer. All right, shake out your arms. Okay, next, we're going to do shoulder rolls. What's a shoulder roll? It's when we take our shoulders, and just like when we swing our arms in big circles, we're going to move our shoulders in big circles. So forwards and backwards, going in backwards circles. You're trying to lift your arms up, shoulders up really high, push them back far, down as far as you can. So big circles, rolling our shoulders, and then we're going to try going in the opposite direction. So rolling them forwards in big circles. Cool. All right. Next, we're moving on to our yoga mat. Why don't you go down on all fours, hands directly underneath your shoulders. We're going to do something called cat-cow. Now, cat looks like this, where we arch our back, so we're trying to squeeze our shoulders as far away, so our chest is opening up. So the way that you can think about it is when we did our circles, we're getting to this position where our shoulders are all the way back and our belly's pushing really far forward. So you're going into cat position, pushing your belly forward, shoulders pushing back, and then our cow position is when we push our back up really high. We try to round and we try to push into the ground super hard. And then we go back to cat. So squeezing in, chest sticking out, belly down towards the ground, arching our back, shoulder blades squeezing together, and then back to cow. And we're going to switch back and forth. Cat, cow, cat, cow, cat, cow. All right. Next, to get our shoulders warmed up, we're going to do 10, we'll start with 5 push-ups. If you need to go on your knees, you can go on your knees. Just make sure your butt's not up really high. You're just trying to push down and back up, making sure there's a bend in your elbow here, okay? Going on your knees is totally fine. We're just trying to get our arms working, all right? So do that 5 times. One more. Nice, all right. Next, last thing we're going to do is still down on the ground. We're going to go into a plank position. So that means like this, nice and straight. And what we're going to do is we're going to rock forwards and backwards. So if you look at my shoulders here and where they are over my hands, when I start, my shoulder's directly over my hand. When I go forwards, it's going to go in front. And when I rock back, I'll put my butt up in the air and my shoulders go behind my hands. So forwards and back. Forwards, back. Forwards and back. And 3 more times. So there's 1, 2, 3. Cool. All right. Next thing we're going to do is staying in our little doggy position like this. You're going to put your hands directly underneath your shoulders. So nice and straight. Make sure your hands don't go out wide like this. They're directly underneath your shoulders. Now from this position, we're going to walk our knees a little bit closer. We're going to put our toes on the ground. And you're going to work on just lifting and sticking your butt up and coming back down. And when I do this, I want us to lean forwards as you go up. So ready? You're lifting and back down. Lift and back down. 2 more times. Lift, back down. 1 more. Lift, back down. Okay. Last little warm up. Rolling our wrists to the wave. Change the direction. And shake them out. All right, so moving into our handstand. Before we attempt a handstand, there's something we need to learn. It is the start of a handstand. It is the most important part of a handstand. If you don't have a good one of these, your handstand won't be good. That is the lunge, all right? So here's what a lunge looks like. See if you can see me. Yes. So we're going to put 1 foot forwards. We're going to bend our front leg, all right? Our back leg is going to be nice and straight. We're going to lean forwards just slightly over our knee. And so now if you look from my foot right down here all the way up to my shoulder, I'm going to have a straight line. I'm not going to be up like this because that doesn't make it a straight line. And I'm not going to be down like this because that's bending the line as well. So 1 foot is bent in the front, back leg is straight, leaning forwards just a bit so that we make a nice and straight line. And then I'm going to put my arms up, and should I put them here? No, because that's going to bend my straight line. I'm going to lift them all the way up, and I'm going to make them part of that straight line. All right? So there should be a straight line from my foot all the way up my body into my hands. So I want to see everybody go into the lunge here. We're just going to hold this position for 1 second so that we can feel what that lunge feels like. Okay? Now what you're going to do is that should be a pretty strong position. So we're going to find a wall that we can push against. And what you're going to do is you're going to go into a lunge and put your hands here. Let's see if I can do it over here. You're going to go into your lunge, put your hands on the wall, and you're going to push at the wall, trying to really push into the ground, okay? So when I'm back here, I'm leaning forwards, pushing into the wall as hard as I can. I'm just trying to feel the pressure pushing all the way through my hands, down into my feet in the floor, okay? A door works as well, okay? So grabbing onto the wall. Actually, here's a door that I can use. Let's see if I can show you. Grabbing onto the wall here, leaning forward and pushing. All right? That pushing pressure is what you're going to feel when we do our handstand. All right. Now, this is where our 2 shoes or whatever it may be come into play, okay? So grab onto those 2 little objects. And what you're going to do is on your mat, you're going to put one in the middle of the mat. The other one is going to go just a little bit further away, okay? And I'm going to do my lunge again, but I'm going to use my markers to help me. So check out where I put my feet in relation to those shoes, all right? So 1 foot is going to stay here. The other foot steps in between the 2 shoes, okay? Now here, I'm going to lean forward and put my hands on the floor, okay? So if you look, I have a shoe in between my 2 feet and a shoe in between my feet and my hands, all right? Let me turn this down a little bit so you can see. Okay, so I'm leaning here, all right? Now from this position, I'm going to do a little kick with this leg, lifting it up into the air. So I'm going onto 1 foot, all right? This here, whenever this foot comes down, it lifts up, it's going to come back down in the same spot, okay? So those 2 shoes that we put on the floor, those are your zones. Zone 1 is this back spot. It's where your first foot's going to go. Second foot goes in the middle. Hands go in zone 3, okay? So 1, 2, and 3. Remember that, okay? Because what we're going to do is you're going to lean down here. We're going to kicking this leg up, bringing it back down into zone 1, kicking up, back down into zone 1. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to start with just a little baby handstand. So what that means is when we're down here like this, hands already on the ground, we're just going to work on kicking that leg and then hopping just a little bit with this foot. So it's a kick and a hop and right back into our zones. So this leg always, the back leg always lands in the farthest one. The front leg always lands in the middle and the hands stay right where they are. We're just doing a little hop, up and back down, up and back down. We're going to do about 5 of these, okay? So kicking, pushing hard into the ground. Now, one thing that everybody always thinks when they go to do a handstand is that they'll hit their head on the ground, but if your arms are straight, there's no possible way to hit your head on the ground. Your head will only touch the ground if your arms bend, okay? So strong, strong hands, pushing. I want your fingers to be really wide. So imagine my hands are on the ground. I'm gonna have my fingers pointing forwards, okay? So if you're looking at your hands, this is what they should look like, all right? Fingers pointing forwards. My thumbs are facing kind of towards each other. My fingers are out wide. I don't want hands like this. And I don't want hands like this. And I definitely don't want hands like this or like this, all right? And then we're going to try to grab onto the ground as we do this. So that means instead of having hands flat, we're going to actually bend our fingers. And we're going to try to grab the mat, all right? So when you're down here in this lunge, I want our hands strong on the ground. We're going to try to grab the mat with our fingers. We're going to point our fingers straight towards the wall. So, right? We're straight ahead. Let's see if I can do this. Whoop. So fingers pointing straight ahead. So this is what you're seeing, right? These are your hands. You're looking at them on the ground. They're pointing straight ahead. Fingers are grabbing onto the ground. They're not pointed in like this, and they're not pointed out. They're straight. Okay? Pretty cool that I have your hands here, right? Okay. So, hands grabbing the ground, fingers pointing forwards, nice and strong arms. And the next thing we're going to do is see my head here. Right now, you guys can see my ears. I don't want to be able to see my ears. Instead, I'm going to tuck my head in here so that I can't. So my ears are covered by my arms, all right? And I'm going to do my cow position. Do you guys remember the cow position? So we're here, we went to cow. We round our back, okay? So in this position here, with our feet in our zones for our lunge, hands go down, go into our cow position, all right? Then from here, kick that leg up 3 times, and then we can do 3 baby handstands. 1, 2, 3. Every single time our feet are trying to land back in those zones, and we're doing that cow position where our back is super round, not bent like this. It's super round, all right? And our hands are nice and strong, okay? So, one more time. Hands on the ground, fingers grabbing the ground in front of you, nice and strong, okay? Arms up, cow position. We're kicking and jumping just a little bit. Try that 5 more times, all right? Just 3 or 5 baby little handstands, pushing strong, all right? This first step, where we just practice the little hops kicking into our handstand, is what's going to keep you safe and build the strength the right way so that you don't accidentally kick up and come crashing down the other side, all right? That's it for, yeah. All right, what? Couple more things. Like I said, we're not going to really get into kicking all the way up today because that's not what's important. If we rush into kicking all the way up into our handstand, we might come crashing down the other side, and that's not what I want to see. All right? This is just the foundation behind a handstand that's going to make you better at it, okay? So the next thing that you can do is you're going to find a couch or a small object or chair that you can put your feet up onto. We're going to walk our feet up on top, and we're going to hold a half handstand. So that means that my feet are going to be up on top of the chair. These are my feet. And my head and my arms are going to be pointing down into the ground. It looks something like this. Ready? So my goal for this is to stick my butt as high as I can. I'm going to keep my hands in the same position they were in when I was doing my handstands. So that means they are shoulder width apart, and my fingers are wide, and I'm grabbing onto the ground, okay? And I'm trying to cover my ears with my arms. I hold my butt up as high as I can. If this is really hard for you, you can go onto your knees, okay? It'll make it a little bit easier. But if you can, challenge yourself. Go up under your feet. Try to look up as high as you can with your eyes, looking for your fingers, okay? But don't stick your head out like this. So our head needs to be in, and we need to be looking up with our eyes, not with our head, okay? So you're going to look up with your eyes like this, not with your whole face, okay? Up, looking up with your eyes, not with your face. Got it? Looks like this. Up with your eyes, looking at your hands, not looking up with your face. All right? If you have a brother, sister, cat, dog, mom, dad, uncle, grandma, grandpa, friend, whoever, if there's somebody there with you, a good tip for them to look for, you can tell them to do this, is to look for your ears. If they can see your ears, that means you're using too much neck and you're looking up with your face. Okay? So, arms are up, and if you can see, you can't see my ears. They are covered. If you can see my ears, like this, then my head is too far. All right? So cover your ears with your arms. All right? Yeah, Antonius will be able to do that for you, Heather, okay? Ask him. He knows. I taught him already. Okay, so we're going to do our half handstand. I want you to try to hold it for 10 seconds, come down, do another 10 seconds, come down, do another 10. So this is a total of 30 seconds, okay? And now I'm not looking for making it super long while you're up on the couch doing the half handstand. We don't want a really long one. Instead, I just want a 10-second perfect one, okay? Because sometimes when we hold it for too long, we start to break down and we do things wrong, and then we're practicing the wrong thing instead of practicing the correct thing. So I'll do one with you. Let's see. Holding ourselves up. We're going to go for 10, 9, 8, 7, fingers grabbing the ground nice and strong. 5, 4, butts up as high as we can. 2, 1, and come on down. Okay? So I want you guys to practice that 2 more times. 10 seconds holds. All right? Covering your ears, fingers grabbing onto the ground, fingers pointing forwards, not in, and not out to the side. All right? Holding that handstand really strong. All right? And then our conditioning for today, I have one thing for you, and that one thing is to practice this handstand, the little baby one, and this all day whenever you get the chance. Yep, I mean it. So, if you have time right now, you can, once this video ends, I want you to keep practicing that little handstand, working on hopping, and see if you can get your leg, that one leg, so this back leg, ready? So I got my 2 zones. My back leg here, I'm going to try to get it to point towards the ceiling. This leg here is going to stay bent, pointing towards the floor. Okay, did you see how my back leg was going up, pointing towards the ceiling? My front leg was staying bent, pointing towards the floor. If that front leg stays pointing towards the floor, then it will keep your balance a little bit more from going too far over to the other side. We can practice just on our landing back in our zones, pushing strong with our arms, all right? Sounds good. All right. Say hi to everybody for me. If you have a cat, say hi to him. I'm going to say hi to my cat. Hi, Antonius. I know he's watching. My cat always watches, right? All right, thanks for tuning in, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Bye, Heather.